Time now for Commitment 2010 election news. All this week, we're having the 4 candidates for Honolulu Mayor on our morning news for a live interview discussing everything from rail to sewer fees to the city budget. And this morning, we welcome Acting Mayor Kirk Caldwell. And, sir, thank you very much for being back on our morning news.
Thanks for having me on.
Really appreciate it.
Good morning.
And, you know, the first question, we've been throwing this question out to all the candidates have been on. Why should people vote for you? What's your one big issue that you really think is a reason why people should strike your name in the ballot box?
You know, Dan, first and foremost, it's about job creation, and the city is a real job creator. We're trying to move permits out as quickly as possible over the next couple months. In fact, for June and July, we've moved almost $150 million worth of permits. It's about getting jobs back on the street so we can get our people back to work. I mean, people are hanging on by their fingernails right now, and we need to do more. It's also about road repaving. We're moving out. We're trying to get out to bid by the end of the year, $150 million worth of road repaving. And of course, we want to start a rail project because it's about starting tens of thousands of jobs. Sewer repair is another big job creator. These are the kind of things the mayor does. It's about infrastructure. It's about creating jobs. It's about giving people more opportunity to continue to live in our community.
All right, and then let me fire some questions at you. One of the questions that a lot of people are asking about is your connection to Mufi Hanneman. Of course, there was a point in time there when you tried to run for the city council. It didn't work out. You got appointed into city manager. You've been in that position for, I think, a little over 18 months now. And what are your ties to Mufi Hanneman? How close are you? Is it still Mufi Hanneman's city if you're elected mayor?
You know, I have a good working relationship with Mayor Hanneman, but I also have a good working relationship with many of the leaders in our community. I spent 30 years of my life in the private sector, rising to be one of the managing partners of one of the big corporate law firms. And of course, I was in the House as the majority leader, also clerk for Chief Justice William S. Richardson, worked for Dan Inouye. The point I'm trying to make here, Dan, is that I think I have a good working relationship with many of the leaders in our community. And I believe the fact that I was born in Waipahu and raised in Hilo has taught me to be a collaborative type of leader, where I look to work with everyone. In fact, on my first day as acting mayor, the first call I made was to Governor Linda Lingle. And then I called Speaker Calvin Say, Senate President Colleen Hanabusa, every one of the council members I went down to see. I've testified before the council now twice, and they've been up to my office. I've been down to their office. I think my style is one of reaching out and collaboration, and I appreciate it because I've served in all 3 branches of government.
Is there anything that you disagreed with the Hanneman administration on, or is there something that you're doing differently now that the Hanneman administration did?
There's different focuses. I think there was an evolving issue regarding housing. I have really started to push the issue of creating an Office of Housing in the city and county of Honolulu, because to address our homeless problem, it's really about building more affordable housing. And we can do it by incentivizing and working with the private sector.
And that was something that the Hanneman administration wasn't as focused on.
I think they were evolving that way. But for me, and I think anyone who is sitting in my position as the acting mayor is always responding to the needs of the community. And we're really seeing an increasing demand that we need to do more to address the homeless problem.
All right, let's talk about what goes. Your main opponent there. There are 3 major candidates here in the election. Well, there's 4 people running right now, of course, and you have Panos Pervedoros, who's an anti-rail candidate. Okay. Then you have Peter Carlisle. Peter Carlisle was a city prosecutor for a number of years. He's got a lot of name recognition out there. Do you see him as your biggest threat, and what's the difference between you two?
You know, I'm looking to address the needs of our community, and I'm not looking at who else is running for mayor, but I think a big difference between the 2 of us is I've been managing the city on a day-to-day basis. I'm like the chief operating officer, a budget of $1.82 billion, 10,000 employees, 21 departments. You got the prosecutor, who's been the prosecutor. He has a budget of about $17 million and about 200 employees. It's a very different kind of job. I was the managing partner of my law firm. It's kind of like being what he's doing as the prosecuting attorney. Very, very different. And the other thing I think that's very different is the fact that I've served in all 3 branches of government, and I've worked in the private sector for 30 years. I don't think there's any candidate who really appreciates what it means to be in the private sector and having to meet a payroll.
All right, we're running out of time. A couple of quick things I wanted to touch on real fast, if you could give a quick answer to. Fireworks ban, is that something that you would be in favor of if it ever did reach your desk?
Yes, I do support a statewide fireworks ban. I would like to see a narrow exception for religious and cultural purposes, but we need to do more to protect our public.
July 4th is a cultural purpose. Could people pop fireworks then on July 4th?
July 4th, I think, is a celebration of our country's birthday, and I think we can celebrate by watching people like Ala Moana Shopping Center pop set off fireworks.
One more quick item, bulky item, fines that just got passed by the council. Is that something you'll sign as acting mayor?
Yes, I will. In fact, I supported the fine. I do think we have to put teeth in this bill in order to change people's bad habits of putting bulky items out at the wrong time and really visually polluting our community.
All right, Acting Mayor Kirk Caldwell, of course, is a candidate for Honolulu Mayor, and he joined us this morning. And if you want to see this interview again, you can see it on our website, kitv.com. We also have interviews with Rod Tam and Panos Barbados that are posted, and Peter Carlisle will be on our morning show tomorrow. Sir, thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan.
Will you come back on before the primary election?
Definitely. Anytime you want me, I'll be back here.
I really appreciate
Thanks.
it. And
Take
we'll be right
care, guys.
back with much more. It is 6:41 on this Thursday morning, and it's looking like a beautiful day.